Hi, it's Joy, and today I'm going to be watching One Piece Season 1, Episode 6, The Chef and the Chore Boy, which I'm guessing is the dude we just met, whose name began with S, and Luffy. And I'm really stressed because of what happened to Zoro in the last episode. So yes, a reminder that you can find the unedited version of this reaction on my Patreon 2 weeks in advance, the edited version 1 week in advance, and let's go.
Zoro, hey, can you hear me?
Where's the first aid kit?
Do we even
Zoro?
have a first aid kit?
Sort of a little dose of reality of how scary and dangerous this can be.
Luffy! Someone needs to go back to Baradier.
I'm really not hungry right now, Nami.
Not
Oh,
food.
Luffy.
Maybe one of the
Right. A doctor.
Bless him. You can really see how young and inexperienced he actually is, and how like this is maybe the first time he's really been in this kind of situation, especially when he's supposed to be in charge of this kind of a
We need a
situation.
doctor.
It's a 2-day sail from here.
It's too long.
I can't help you. I hope your friend makes it. Wait, and where do you think you're going?
I helped Chore Boy's friend.
Brunch
Oh.
is not gonna prep itself.
Yeah, well, you always told me to feed anyone who's hungry. I don't see how this is any different.
Okay, so he was happy that he fed.
Bring me my kitchen knives and a bottle of our best whiskey.
He was happy that he fed the dude that was hungry.
And a cooler.
Okay. Maybe the head chef dude isn't evil.
Might be too late for him.
But it might not be.
He's got one foot in it, but at least he'll know his crew is still with him.
They are with you.
Vice Admiral, because that boy is interesting.
He is indeed.
Maybe your grandson will be the one to find One Piece after all.
Things are not what they seemed. This man is not stable.
Delicious.
He's taking care of the blades for him.
Plenty with it.
Or maybe he just needs some water, right? After all that fighting, he must be awfully thirsty. But,
Sweetheart.
you know, he's probably also tired, so...
Needs oregano.
So that investigation, that conversation even
How
was...
do you want to die, quick or slow?
I'd rather die than have you season my food.
You made that? What does little eggplant know about the old blue?
That's why he calls an eggplant. Not a good day for pirating or chefing, it would seem.
They're all dead,
Fuck.
except for us.
Awful experience. Waiting to die. How is he still alive? I guess he really eked out that food somehow.
You still have some food. You gotta give me some.
Did he have no food at all the whole time? It was treasure. How is he alive? Oh, he ate his own leg? He gave you all... And he gave you all your food, all the food.
Your own leg?
I have been searching for the old blue,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna need you to fulfill that dream.
For both of us.
He never stopped lying until he was dead.
Poor guy.
Talking about lying and lying and lying.
Was in a whole...
You could have saved Zoro. He didn't have to fight Mihawk, but you let it happen. Why didn't you stop him?
He's young and
I didn't think he was
inexperienced.
going to lose.
And he believed.
I'd do anything to save him. Anything. Except stand in the way of his dream.
We all have
I
dreams.
know where you're coming
Outgrow
from.
them.
Is that really what you...
I do respect Luffy supporting Zoro when he wanted to do the fight, but the fight was so clearly going to end like this.
I'm sorry about all this.
Sure, you had your reason.
And
Yeah,
already
maybe.
know the reason, don't you?
Yes, you maybe need to go to some anger
Well, Luffy
management
is my
classes.
grandson, but the two of you couldn't be more different.
Their hearts are quite similar.
Sir?
Let him be a damn fool pirate.
That'd be the worst thing, sir.
He's not a bloodthirsty pirate, that's something. But when you spent your whole life fighting against
Right.
pirates...
Maybe I've been going about this the wrong way all along. Muster the Marines on deck.
Oh lord.
I'll address them at afternoon watch.
Is he gonna be like, now we go after them with everything we've got, we're gonna kill these pirates or whatever, like... is he gonna take this like completely the opposite way? Because Luffy, like, yeah, he stole some stuff from a marine base, wasn't great, but other than that, he's not killed anyone. Oh lord. Oh lord.
At least he'll know it's you.
Mm-hmm.
Wanted to tell you that. Let me start over. I'm just gonna. Hi, Zoro. Hi.
Arlong has the highest bounty in all of the East Blue. You do not want to mess with him.
It sounds like you messed with us first.
Luffy, please. Please.
I see that this is something that I feel like he got the first dose of with Zoro getting hurt. But that Luffy, I admire him so much. I love the fact that he's like, somebody's in trouble, I'm gonna go and help them. And like, especially if they're in trouble kind of because of him, like because he was there. It's not his fault, but like if they're in trouble because he was there. He will go and he will help anyone he sees that's in trouble. And so far, despite going up against odds that he should not be able to beat, he has successfully beaten them. It at some point eventually they're gonna fail because surely inevitably that has to happen. I don't want it to happen, but surely it has to happen. I'm worried.
I can't let innocent people get hurt because of me.
But that's the
Those
Luffy we
fish
know
make
and
guys
love.
wanna fight. It's gonna be safe with you.
He trusts you. I feel like we've got everybody's backstory but hers. God. Yep.
I've got eyes and ears everywhere.
Oh god!
You're gonna have to fight me for it.
To let the fighting begin.
Oh, Luffy. Oh dear. I think if a bullet could stop them, they'd have been stopped by now.
Really great fighter.
Yeah, one-on-one. I do not blame you. I do not blame you. One-on-one, we are doing nothing here, people. He knew what you could do before you, like... I don't know if he's faced off against someone that was prepared for his ability. Luffy! Is she leaving? Yep, this is going poorly.
Come on, fish guy.
He's still smiling.
Is that all you?
Oh, Luffy, things can't always go your way.
Nami, what are you doing?
Tried to tell you, Luffy. I
Ooh.
was never on your crew. I only joined up with you so I could steal the map.
Really? So that was so well done because they made it look like she was working with the Marines and that wasn't making sense with the last few episodes. But this could make this, yeah, she was talking to somebody else.
Let the sea do it for you.
She's saving him by saying that, right? Like, I know the sea is deadly to him, but somebody else can pull him out of this, right? This is not how I thought her betrayal was going to come to light. Thank you, Chef Boy. This has been a brutal episode for Luffy. I said that eventually his good-heartedness and just going in and up against impossible odds to save people was going to pay off, not pay off. I didn't want it to happen. And Nami's betrayal hurts most of all. I'm sorry. I have to believe ultimately she's gonna rejoin us and betray him, and like she only kind of went with him in this instance because that was the only way she could save Luffy, because he was obviously gonna lose that fight. Zoro's dying already, and as much as she doesn't want to care about them, I think we've seen that despite herself, she does care about them. Now, she could still remain a loyal member of Arlong's crew for forever, I don't know. I also felt like when she was saying, like, I hate pirates, that seemed very genuine, but then maybe that was just a good cover story, and we already know she's good at lying. And you know, when she was reading Zora the story about the guy who just kept lying and lying and lying until he died, I feel like she was emotional about that story because that's what she's doing. We still don't know what her dreams are, what her backstory is, and I'd love it if next episode we get Nami's backstory, because now we've seen who she's working with. Her being with the Marines didn't make sense, and that's why. But it's also interesting that like she knew that being thrown into the sea wouldn't kill Luffy. I mean, it could very well have killed Luffy, but she knew he had a chance if he was thrown into the sea because there are other people who care about him who will come and save him, especially if the fishmen are gone. Whereas if the guy like has ripped his neck out, he's dead either way. There is no saving that. So like she did act to save Luffy, even though she handed over the map and revealed her betrayal and everything. Like it's kind of, I don't think that, I think she does care about them, and maybe they showed her another way to, well, Luffy in particular showed her another way to pirate, and she can ultimately come around to join our crew because I really like her. But also, and regardless of even if she is joining their crew, she did do what she could to give Luffy a chance there, because if she'd let her captain eat him, then he'd be dead. Whereas throwing him into the ocean, yes, he very nearly drowned, but people came and saved him as she knew they would, because he inspires people. So I hope he has inspired her enough and Zora's inspired her enough that she will ultimately help us and come around to us, but I don't know how that will happen. Like maybe she doesn't actually have the map in there and she's lying to him, but then they'll immediately just find out. And I don't know. I don't know, and I'm stressed, and I want her to ultimately be good. But I'm glad we know the answer of who she was working with, because the Marines stopped making sense a little while ago.
So our mission has changed. No more half measures.
No
more soft targets.
Thought that's how he took it.
Straw hats and their captain will...
He's like, that is the literal opposite of what I was trying to say to you. But you know, this guy's never gonna let his grandson live happily ever after as a Marine.
You're the one with a problem.
Does he want him to go out and pursue his dream?
So get out of my... It's one thing to have a dream, it's another to go after it.
Yeah, well, Chore Boy offered me a spot on his crew. Maybe I take him up on that offer.
You want my permission? You got it. Fine.
That's definitely their relationship. All the love that they do actually have between each other over these years. Yep. We need you to wake up, Zoro. Luffy's had some very real reality shocks to his system.
Hey, Zoro.
Still smiling
Sure
at
missed the
Zoro.
big fight. And now I lost Nami.
You didn't lose her, sweetheart.
I lost the Grand Line map.
You were always going to lose Nami at this point. I think you might regain her. I hope you regain her.
Too.
Hell no.
I need you, Zoro.
Yeah.
I need you to wake up.
Me too.
You gonna keep talking or let me get some sleep?
You're not dead! Oh! Right now.
I wish I was. God, he's gonna wake up to having failed at achieving his dream. That he can achieve it in the future, but like the trauma of that and finding out about Nami.
Vow to stand by your side. From now until the end. Until we find the One Piece. Or die trying.
Yeah. You have
So
inspired
bring on the Marines or pirates.
true
or sea
loyalty.
beasts, and I'm your first mate.
You really sparked something in Zoro that he had been missing for a long time.
It's alive!
Ow, God. Oh, Luffy.
You better not mess with the...
First, we're going after Nami.
Oh. The question is whether or not she'll want to join us, and I think she ultimately will. But that just shows the strength of his like heart and belief in people, because you could 100% read the interaction that he had with her at the end there as her being like, I have always been evil and I have always hated you and I'm going to join that crew. I think there were signs that that was not the case, that what started off as a job and her kind of ending up needing to do this turned into something else. But it just... he believes in people. He's not for the one moment focusing on the pain and the heartbreak and that she was lying, and I think that will come that is in his head, but he just focuses on the good and the belief. They're family. A very dysfunctional one, but they are family, the two of them. And he wants him to live his dream. Sometimes the hardest thing you can do is let someone go.
Sanji!
Sanji, not eggplant.
Thank you for putting up with my shit all these years, old man.
This family. Well, how do we go about finding Nami? Going up against the freaking evil sea pirate man. They're all fish pirate. Thank you.
I know someone who does.
Literally all I can think of is like Buggy's body. I can write it down. He has the head! Okay! Jesus Christ.
Hello, boys!
Okay, so the moment I have been dreading and needing to happen has happened when Nami has revealed that she's been lying. She has revealed her truth, and I don't think that she's part of the longfish, swordfish gang. I don't remember. Ardlefish. I brain fog names. I'll figure it out. But that is who she's working for. And I had thought over the last few episodes that her working with the Marines just didn't make sense with things that had happened. But her working with these pirate people, it unfortunately does. Now, when I clicked the next episode on Netflix so that it would like ready to close it, I did see that the next episode is called like The Girl with the Swordfish Tattoo or something, which makes me think we're finally going to get her story, and I'm so excited for that. But back to this, that is like it's been frustrating me, but also I've been completely understanding because it's the story that we've known so little about her character beyond just this, ooh, she's talking to someone. And so as much as I've been dreading it, her finally having that moment of, I've never been part of your crew, I've always been part of this crew, I've got the map, I did what you asked, was so important because it had to happen. And it had to happen so we could hopefully get to the other side where she can ultimately actually join our crew and choose to. Now, I need her story. I've needed it for the longest time because it's going to explain so much about her, about what drives her, about what led her to make these decisions to be in this position. I do think that as much as a lot of what we've seen of her will have been her kind of putting on the act, being like, being part of the crew, and I'm just a thief who's not attached to anybody, and I'm just doing this, some of that will have been an act. I do think we've also seen her, against her better judgment, getting attached to the rest of our characters, against her better judgment, her caring about them, her, what she blah 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 blah. She even admitted to Zora that she's doesn't have friends because she can't let herself have friends, because if she cares about this crew, that's not doing her job. Now, I'm so excited to find out what led her to being with that crew. He seems to be very like anti-human. She seems to be human. So what caused that to happen? And I just cannot wait. She definitely, like, when she walked out on that pier, she'd like taken off, like, she looked more like an evil pirate girl than she did like with her colourful top over the top of it. She had a tattoo and she was all like, oh, evil. But she gave Luffy a fighting chance. She knew that it was more likely than not that he would survive being thrown into the ocean because somebody else would come and help him. So she could have just, if she was truly heartless, she'd have just let her boss have a snack, like do whatever he wanted. She wouldn't have said anything. So I think that shows you in itself, if everything else hasn't shown you, that she does care. And even the fact that she said those parting words to Zoro shows that she cares. So I'm very excited to find out whether, she was kind of initially like a captive on the ship, or whether she joined them because she had no other choice, whether she ultimately has some great vengeance mission against them and she's kind of doing it from the inside. Like, there are 1,001 million stories that could be behind Nami being a part of this pirate crew. So I'm very excited to hopefully find out in the next episode, at least before the end of the season, why she is doing that, and for us to kind of go forward from there. Something that I think just shows you Luffy's character is that his decision right now is he wants to go after Nami. He's not saying go after the map, because realistically they need the map to get to the Grand Line. Everyone needs the map. But his words are, we're going after Nami. She has betrayed them. She has, stolen the map from right under their noses. She's been lying to them this whole time. It would be so natural for Luffy's response to be, fuck her, I'm gonna go after her and get revenge. Like, she's been lying, she's been betraying this crew. But it shows you that Luffy, his outlook on life and the kind of, he practices what he preaches. Like, his vision, his belief in people it goes beyond, like, it's when it's tested, he still believes. And that is something that I love to see. This episode I also felt like was coming, like I've been saying it for, I think I at least said it in the previous episode, and I was saying it in this episode, that Luffy needed to fail. And by that I don't mean like I wanted him to fail, but there have been multiple instances this show so far where he has gone up against seemingly impossible odds and beaten them. He has been like, he's had his noble idealistic values that I believe in wholeheartedly, of people are in danger, I'm gonna go and help them, I don't care how likely it is that I'll succeed, and he's always succeeded. So it was very important for me, I think, for his character to fail in this moment. You know, he lost the fight against Noseman. Nemi betrayed him. He was left for dead by someone he once trusted. I still think she was giving him a chance, but you know, like, it was very much a loss. Right on the heels of him being like, yeah, Zoro, go get your dream. Oh fuck, someone could have just killed you just then. You know, right off the heels of another failure. And I think with that one, I get where he's coming from with like never stopping somebody from achieving their dream, but I do think some, like, maybe what Zoro needed was some words of like, are you sure, like right now, words of caution. I don't know. Again, I think Zoro would have done it anyway, and it probably would have been wrong for Luffy to be like, no, you can't do it. But at the same time, I don't blame Nami for being cross with him for not trying to stop Zoro. I think we also saw at the beginning of this episode when Luffy just did not know what the fuck to do. Zoro was bleeding out in front of him and he did not know what to do. He was panicking. He was being no help. Nami was telling everyone what to do. Usopp was freaking out, but he was at least kind of checked into the moment. Luffy was just, this is real. What do I do? And I think this was his first real time of having his captaincy tested, in the sense of like, people's lives are on the line here. But ultimately, I think he stumbled and found his way through it. This is a learning experience. And part of why I kind of wanted him, I didn't want him to fail, I wanted him to fail, was because I think that is a learning experience for him. And that is also a test of his character and his mettle. And we have seen that even when he fails, he stays true to who he really is. And I believed he would, but I love to see it. Now, I'm glad Sanjay has joined our crew. He seems nice. He's a good fighter. We need more of those. And, you know, I feel like they're going to have some nice meals now. So, you know, good for them. But I get it's with every new edition, like, I'm still getting used to Usopp being on the crew. Now there's another person. Like, I like my original trio. I mean, I don't. This crew could be as big as they want. I think the original source material was from a while ago, so I'm not expecting any more women to join the crew, but it would be nice if there was some more women on the crew. But yes. Going forwards, we're gonna try and get Nami, we're gonna try and get the map. And what I think is also important is that Luffy is saying we're going after Nami to get her back, to find her, to... He's going up against insurmountable odds yet again, and he didn't even mention the map. You know, he didn't say, well, actually, we can't really head for the Grand Line because I need my map of the Grand Line from Nami. You know, he just phrased it as we're going to go and our crew is not complete and we need to complete the crew. He believes in her. He believes in who he has seen she really is. He thinks he failed when he didn't fail. I mean, she was lying to him from the moment they met about who she was and what she was actually doing. So the only way he could have seen through that would be if he was a less kind and caring person, and I never want him to be that. But I love that we're going there with belief in Nami in our hearts. I'm choosing to believe that she's going to join the crew, but it really technically could go both ways. She could be like, nah, this is my crew, fuck you, I'm gonna kill you all. I don't think she will, but it's gonna be stressful. Then we have the Marines. I didn't think that Kobe's speech was going to be taken the way Kobe intended it to be. And yeah, this now, like, I don't care what measures we're going to bring them in. Not great. You know, Kobe was trying to be like, you've got to let Luffy be himself. Don't try and force him into being something he's not. I would have liked a line or two about how, like, so far they've not been, like, murder pirates. They've been, like, nice pirates. Maybe there are more evil pirates out there that we could be focusing on. But with the grandfather, you really get the impression that he is someone who is like, if you won't do things the way I want you to, if I cannot control you, I will like, I have to control you. I will stop you from living your life the way you want. He is not a good person. So yeah, Kobe, I still feel like Kobe may well end up joining the crew too, because I think the Marines are very much not turning out to be anything like he thought they would be. And if anything, the more he sees Luffy in action, the more Luffy is actually acting in the way he believed the Marines would act, if that makes sense. But we will see. Sanjay's backstory was very like the thought of being on that island for that long and then finding out that like the old pirate man had like had his treasure and pretended it was food and cut off his own leg, like it was a lot. They're a very dysfunctional family, but they really cared about each other, and it makes me want to rewatch the previous episode because I couldn't quite put my finger on what their interactions were, and I was kind of reading it as like, oh, maybe the head chef like actually like Zeph actually like hated him, or didn't hate him, but like really looked down on him and kind of was just a mean man. And in this episode it's just and like, even that moment when Luffy was like, oh well, you know, he'll always be a chef because that hungry pirate came in and he fed him, and he was, oh, did he now? Well, good on him, lad. And I wasn't 100% sure. I think my first watch reading of the scene, I was thinking, oh god, you've got him fired, he's going to be mad about that. When I was editing, I saw that moment and I was like, maybe he actually is okay with him being like that. He's happy with him. And then when you watch this episode, you can see so much more about their relationship and their characters, and it was very, very well done. What a stressful time. So that was episode 8. No, that was episode 6 and there are 8, right? So there's 2 more. Jesus Christ. I love this show. I'm so glad Nami's betrayal is finally out in the open because we can start to move to the other side of it. Reminder that you can find the unedited version of this reaction on my Patreon 2 weeks in advance, the edited version 1 week in advance, and thank you so much for watching.